property crash, property boom,
Ooh, you can hit
property
that.
bash.
Some of that.
Can we hit that? And applause drums. Drum roll.
We're live yet?
You're alive.
We're live.
How are you, everyone? How are you, everyone? Topics for tonight, Steve Bubbalo, Mark Novak.
Many topics tonight. Good to be back on with you, Mark. It's been a while that the two of us sat down, but a lot to talk about. We've got banks. We've got trust. Oh,
Stuff.
It's like an 80s rock video. What else do we got?
That's what it is. Okay. First big one. So what we did is looked at customer conversation today, and we looked at the most heavily talked about topics, and we brought them up for you tonight. That one.
Paying too much. Ooh, the big question.
Okay. Are you worried about it?
Yes.
What do you reckon?
Paying too much. Look, I think it just depends on when you want to sell the property. Everybody says, "Oh, I might lose money." You only make or you lose money when you sell whatever the commodity is that you're holding. So real estate, generally, we've always been taught it's a longer term asset to try to hold.
Yep.
And historically, on the northern beaches, we've always done really, really well, when holding for that kind of, a 7 to 10 year cycle, I think.
So your answer?
You're never paying too much. I paid too much when I bought my place.
Yep.
And, oh God, it's gone up probably 40%.
Can I share a screen? Because I'm a nerd.
Go.
Okay, look at this. Check this out. Now, if you're worried about paying too much, I want you to look at the last 10 years of property, what the last 10 years of property has done.
Yep.
Have a look at this screen here, guys. Median prices for units and also northern beaches. I've put that up there as well. The reason why we put that up there now is I want you to go across and have a look at, I can put my mouse here actually. Now, let's look at the last 10 years. Worried about paying too much?
Yep.
Let's look at the last 10 years. 11, 2%, 1%, 3%, 15% in 14.
Yep.
10%, 9%, 8%, 18%. It went really bad in 19.
Yeah, absolutely.
It went really bad in 19. Now, if DY is not good enough for you because there's only 10,000 units here, let's take a wider range of 100,000 properties on the northern beaches. Let's have a look at the northern beaches capital growth, 6. So pretty relative up against that. So I think we can all say 19 was a tough year. Why was 19 a tough year for property?
19, it started really tough. Remember the end of 18 was kind of slow, and then 19 didn't really pick up till the end of quarter 3. And then quarter 3, quarter 4, we saw really strong sales figures. Election, the Royal Commission, everyone wasn't sure what's going to happen.
Next topic.
Ooh, rents, and more specifically the price of rents. Where are they going? Anyone buying investment properties? Are my rental yields going to be sufficient to help me keep the property? What are your thoughts, Mark, on rents?
Rental prices are low, but interest rates are low.
Yep.
So if you were seasoned to 6 or 7% interest rates and you were getting 4 or 5% interest, you were always taking 1 or 2% out of your pocket, giving it to the bank to top up your loan. Now it's the opposite. So now your interest rates are 2.5%, and then your rent's 3.5%, which is lower than what it was. Yield rise, but that's okay.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
That's okay.
So you're probably better off then.
You are.
That was just some figures. They were not rentals, they were sale figures I got for you there, mate.
Okay, well, I got rental figures here. Here you go. Look at this, kids. Right. Rental figures. Bam.
Ooh,
Can that zoom? Yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay, what's that saying, Steps?
I can't see.
Okay, it's saying it's tabled out. So rents since 17 have completely leveled out. Rents since 17 have completely leveled out, but that's okay because your interest rates are half of what they were. So money out of your pocket is less.
So rents are actually pretty good. If you look at, like I said, money out versus money in, we're probably in a better position than we were.
Next big topic that's been brought up today. So guys, if you missed the beginning, what we were talking about is what is everyone today? Stio.
Oh, I hope that worked.
Oh,
did it work?
I'm sure it did. Did that work, everyone? Hey, can I say while we're playing this suspense music, can I say hi to Luke Moroney, Deanne, and Luke Moroney. G'day, everyone. Any questions you got, throw them at us. Now,
busts. Bum, bum.
Busts.
So look, it's a word we've been hearing a lot, probably since early this year with the COVID coming into play. The market's going to bust. There's no way you shouldn't buy a property today. It's only going to bust.
September 1st.
It's all coming to an end.
And
it didn't happen.
Well, what were your numbers on the weekend?
So good. I'm glad you asked, Mark.
I'm glad you asked.
So let's just start. These are our numbers in the office. Last week we had 20 properties open for sale. 72 groups through those 20 properties. Okay, this was on the 22nd of August, so we're going to talk dates. Last weekend, Saturday past, the 29th of August. Again, 20 properties were open, so anything we've sold, we've replaced. Up to 108 groups. That's a 50% increase on numbers through the doors.
So we're seeing an increase, ladies and gentlemen, of numbers for open houses. Now, if we've got the same amount of properties and we've got double the amount of people coming through, that's only good.
Yep.
For prices to go up and prices not to bust.
And this is what it tells me as well. We see this all the time. That's 108 people coming through through our properties today, say a 50% increase. Those 50% may not all be buying this week. They're warming up. So they might be buying in 3 or 4 or 5 weeks' time. The majority there. Sure, some will buy in the next kind of 10 days, but some are researching and they're going to be hitting the market in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks' time, if this is reflective across with other agents' numbers, which I'm probably confident it is,
yes,
that means you're going to see a little bit of a spike in 3 weeks' time.
Question from Luke Moroney. What does the RBA think about bust?
Oh,
good question, Luke.
What does the RBA think about bust?
I'll tell you what the RBA thinks about the bust. Biggest asset class in the country is property. Fact. The banks of Australia, the government of Australia has a lot more invested than you. So they are going to do everything to make sure that we're not going to be experiencing this sort of stuff.
And I know Luke's question was RBA based, but also just think of it like this: stamp duty. How much money the government makes from stamp duty is in their interest to have real estate moving.
Yeah, it's the whole sentiment of the Australian economy is backed behind property, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Okay, what about this one?
Redistribution of wealth. I'm going to have to leave this one with you, Mark.
Okay, guys and girls, I want you to think about this. And I've got to be very respectful for people that are having a hard time out there. Okay. So COVID, what I'm seeing in business with COVID is pain. I'm seeing pain in the travel industry, pain in the cruise ship industry, pain in the airline industry, pain. I'm seeing pleasure. I'm seeing pleasure in Airbnbs around New South Wales. I'm seeing pleasure in localized people that are working from home, enjoying their families. I'm seeing pleasure with a buddy of mine working from Amazon. Amazon says that their workforce is no longer needed to come into the CBD and work anymore. Full stop, forever.
Yeah. Wow.
Full stop, forever. So there's a lot of pleasure around, guys. So redistribution of wealth. Energy does not get burnt. Energy does not get buried.
Moves.
It gets redistributed. So work out where the money's going, support that, feed that. That's when you're going to do well in business. So you can't cry about the energy leaving the market or leaving an area. You got to run to where the energy is going to. That is distribution of wealth.
Yeah, wow.
Next one.
Wow. Urbanization. What do we mean? We've been saying the word tree change or sea change or tree change.
Yep.
So I guess, again, coming back to obviously a big influence of working from home, a lot of people have obviously taken advantage of this. Many of us were doing it before, but even more so that how can I put it, the time frame of developing these new skills at home has been fast forwarded with COVID.
Yep.
Jump in if you want, Mark. But basically, we've taken a giant leap in an advancement of working from home.
Massive.
And people are now looking at regional areas because they no longer, like you said, with Amazon, they may not need to travel as much as they did for work, or they can work more from home. So, they're looking at property, potentially the that they consider too far out of the risks. And I think that's also maybe falls under redistribution of wealth as well, particularly these regional areas. Love to see more Australians going back into these regional areas that need a lot of people. Pancake?
Urbanisation. CBD of Sydney. Okay? CBD of Sydney. I want you to look at that. I want you to think about that, guys. That is where, if you want to look at, and you're right, this is redistribution of wealth as well. People are improving their lifestyle. So the people that are here in the middle of the CBD, where do they want to go now? They don't want to be there. They're moving to here. These guys, they're in Mossburn, Neutral Bay, maybe even the eastern suburbs. They're going, you know what? I don't want to be there. So they go Northern Beaches, Palm Beach. They go in that outer rung. They maybe get a property in the country, South Coast. Those people in all the beaches, where they want to go, well, they'll go to Terrigal, they'll go to Newcastle, they'll go to Gold Coast, Coffs Harbour, those areas. So ladies
Valley, things like that.
Yeah. So that is urbanisation. People are not going toward urbanisation. They're not going towards the centre core anymore. People aren't dreaming of going that way. Due to COVID, people are dreaming going that way, outwards. That's urbanisation.
Yeah, good one.
Boom!
What's next?
All right. What's this one?
Oh, the bank's not lending. Oh.
Okay. The bank's not lending.
And the banks have been tight. I mean, look, this even pre-COVID, the banks were getting more and more, I won't use the word strict, but they had tighter guidelines than they did.
Yep.
So this was always a trend that was coming, but in saying that, rates are fantastic as well. So yes, they've asked for more from us, but I'll be honest, it's never been a better time to get a home loan.
Well, if the bank's going to give it to you. So guys and girls, if you haven't lined up for a bank lately, get ready to get pounded and uppercut the whole way through. If you survive, you'll be given a loan. If you do survive and you are given a loan, you'll be blessed with a 2.4% interest rate, maybe a 2.8% interest rate. I was talking to a local banker about a commercial loan. They offered 2.39% to me with you need a 60% loan and a 40% deposit. So it's a lower ratio of loan, but that is for a commercial rate.
Unheard of.
Money's cheap.
Wow.
So banks are not going to lend money to you unless you are unless they do responsible lending. Responsible lending means that they can tick absolutely every single box and they can go through and give you a complete 10 out of 10 score. If they can do that, you are going to be blessed with a super low rate. Most ladies and gentlemen out there, I would suggest that you look at your rates, you renegotiate with your existing banks. It will save you thousands per year. I would love to even make a bet that if someone came to me and said they couldn't get their rates negotiated any better, that I'll be right and they'd be wrong. So negotiate the rates with the banks.
Yep.
Love the one you're with. If you financially can't tick all the boxes, they'll still give you a better rate. And that is the way our government is looking after galvanising and making it a better economy for everyone. Believe it or not, they're doing it for you kids.
Mm-hmm. China. Oh no, this was your topic, mate. You wanted to discuss this. I think we were talking about the reliance upon the Chinese market, not only in property, but economically as well. And you can see with restrictions, travel restrictions, property's done okay as well. Still continue to perform.
Okay, so China's been knocked out, according to the government. I don't believe they have. I reckon there's plenty of Chinese people. Overseas money still coming in. However they do it, I have no idea. But it's been knocked out, and property prices are still here. Property prices are still stable. Yeah?
Yeah. We can say that pretty confidently. And
so
why?
We're 6 months in.
And why? The rates are good.
Yep.
People have been very responsible, I'll be honest. People that have been thinking about buying, the public that have been thinking of buying. Again, we kind of knew the banks were heading this way about 12 months ago. And there's great opportunity. I don't want to turn this into a sale, but there's great opportunity and it's keeping buyers active in the marketplace. This is a last moment introduction card. The D word.
I don't think I finished off on China though.
China.
Just on China, God bless them. They are attracted to this country because they're not silly people. That's why they're attracted to this country. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's true.
So our education system is excellent. Well, guess what? It still is excellent. Our climate is fantastic. Guess what? It's still fantastic. It's look at yesterday. Unbelievable.
Great.
Bro, what a day. We are relatively a Western world, so we can assimilate. We can get along with the Americans. We can get along with the Italians. We can get along with all different Switzerland. We can get along with all the countries in the world. We are like the Switzerland of Asia. They like that.
Yep.
We are a stable democracy. We are a stable political system. We're a stable political. That's not changed. So even if China's not voting with their money and they can't physically come here and go hard, and the government's restricting them a little bit, we still got those fundamental things that underpin our beautiful country that China is after. And guess what? Now we're after those things more than ever. Aussies are after those things more than ever. Traveling domestically, traveling locally, going to country towns, having a muffin, having a pie, going to those country towns is bigger than ever. We've got ourselves.
Great point. Well, the D word. I don't know if we got
Dick. Debt.
debt.
Debt. Debt.
Debt.
Debt. Debt.
Is it bad? Is it good? You hear everybody say there's good debt, there's bad debt. You shouldn't be in debt. You shouldn't be in debt.
Bad debt. So our country's just about to go into the biggest debt levels it's ever had in its entire life.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. I've been in a lot of debt in my whole life.
And look at you now. We're here at Monday night doing a video.
It's served me well so far.
17.
So I think everyone's got to remember, like for the risk-averse people, if you manage debt well, you can actually do some pretty amazing stuff. If you manage debt well, if you manage debt badly, you are royally screwed. So I think a lot of people at the moment, Luke loves debt, but a lot of people at the moment.
Luke, I've got a property for you.
We got a property for you, Luke. But as well as that debt's managed well, it's actually it can be a good thing. So I can say that my clients that have been property consumers for 30, 40, 50, even 60 years, some of these guys, and now generations of these guys, they are very good at that. They are very good at that. They can manage that really, really well, get it working for them, making money for them, and off they go. So our country going into debt, if we're behaved, what do you reckon?
You know what I think? I think as well, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you read into a lot more in this than I do. When the money's cheap, why not go into debt? I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm saying if you can get access now to funds, and look, if it jumps to a point where you can't manage it, hopefully you can trade out of that asset and take advantage of it. Now, it's not going to switch overnight.
No.
So you might get 5 years, 7 years out of a really good interest rate or out of a really good banking sector at the moment. And you know what? In 7 years' time, if it is too much for you, and hopefully it's not, but if it is, you should sell out that asset. You can pay out the debt because you're getting it now, 2.4%.
Yep.
And you can take hopefully a better margin than you would if that was, a higher rate. So I think when money's cheap, it's a good idea to get into more debt if you can. Of course, you've got to be able to manage that. Don't be irresponsible, like you were saying.
You got to
I don't
be,
know if that's
guys.
a true point or not, but
I
I'm
think
just
you got to
thinking.
be. I think you got to be. So to sum up on what we're seeing, people talk about in the property market, the concerns people are having in the property market, the nuggets that we're pulling out from people in the property market, talking about the property market, are as follows. Are you ready for the nuggets from it all,
I
guys?
wish we had a sound effect that was like broken glass now, just so you could throw it
I've got
out.
Magic Fairy. Do you want Magic Fairy?
I don't know what it's like.
Is that Magic Fairy?
I hope so.
Yeah, Magic Fairy again. Do you want laughter?
Yeah, try it.
Here it comes.
Whoa.
There's a laughter. Oh, you're a funny guy.
All right, let's go.
Okay, one more funny guy laugh, and let's summate what we've talked about tonight as the lowdown. The strip, banks,
Good lending, good rates.
China.
They love our country for the reasons we love our country, and we've done well without them jumping into our property market still.
You can take them away, and we've still got what they're attracted to.
Yeah. All the banks not lending, they will lend if you tick the boxes, and they will lend very, very well to you. Ooh, urbanisation, the map that Mark drew. So just showing how the people are moving from their traditional homes outwards, working from home. That's good for the economy.
I reckon if you work that out, that's if you want to work out what the property market's doing, take a photo of that.
Urbanisation. So just what we spoke about: tree change, sea change. Getting comfortable working in new environments. Ooh, the redistribution of wealth. So the money hasn't been lost with COVID. It's just moved to another area or into new areas, and take advantage of those areas if you can.
I love this one.
The bust. Is it coming? We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it. We didn't see it this year. We didn't see it last year. We didn't see it 5 years ago. We didn't see it 10 years ago. We didn't see it 20 years ago.
I've seen war.
I thought it was going to be a song. I thought you were going to sing.
I've seen wars. We have seen wars. We have seen recessions.
Mhm.
We have seen depressions.
Mhm.
We've seen GFCs 1. We've seen GFC 2. And at the end of the day,
It's no bust. What's the next one? Rental prices. So yes, rents, they have come down a bit, but then so has your repayments on your loan. If you've refinanced it or if you've taken a new loan, so money's cheaper. Yes, rents are down, but when you factor in both of those topics, you're generally going to be better off today than you were probably 2 years ago.
and Mr. and Mrs. Landlord, you are being squeezed for rental arrears for commercial tenants. Hopefully it won't be going on for too much longer. Certainly with residential, we're starting to see a lack of residential rental stock on the market. That means residential rents even could be on the rise over the next quarter or two.
Paying too much for your home. Guys, market's only moved up. You've seen the data Mark showed earlier. Prices are coming up.
Don't make me show you again.
Show.
Don't make me show you again.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Can we show you again?
If you know how to, I don't know how to.
Okay.
He's going to show you
I'm
now.
going to show you guys. Don't. I want you to get this tattooed to your buttock, if you can. And this is this one.
Are you looking at apartments? What are you talking about? Because I'm going to give you a dollar figure if you like.
Oh yeah.
31st of August, 2010, median apartment value in DY, 476,000.
Yep.
Let's jump to today.
Yep.
30. Oh, sorry.
Show me that graph, Steve. Put it right up there again, like you did last time.
Is that going to work?
Yeah.
Wait, let me just
Is
read
this
the figure
Samsung?
out. That's Samsung. Oh, wait, let me do this. All right. Is that going to work?
No, bro.
Oh, no.
Have a look at that, guys.
Data's not going to work. I think you've changed that there. That's the median 2014. You can see it was 596,000.
Well, bottom line, just under 500K, now just under 900K.
Yep.
10 years.
Yep.
Read it.
Well, 14 to now is only 6 years. It's up 400K.
Read it and weep. Debt, it's good.
Yeah, good. That's the topics for tonight. Guys, hopefully we've added some value to your evening. And
Any questions?
any questions, go have a look.
Best Buy. Buyers everywhere. You're right, Lise. It's gone bananas. Dean Emily stimulus. Debt is magic. If it worked well, let us buy the banks. Well, we have with all of our mortgages. Do you think the reason why sales prices have dropped as much as originally predicted by because
properties available to purchase.
absolutely, I do. Dan, I think with property prices dropping, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, look, I think you're right. Property prices didn't drop because when COVID first came out, and and I'm sorry to keep saying COVID, but when it came out earlier this year, we did see a decline in the number of properties on the market, but we equally saw a decline of buyer activity in the market. So one cancelled the other. It's not that there was a huge demand of buyers and a lower amount of supply, which would push prices up, and vice versa. It wasn't that there was a huge supply of real estate and a low amount of buyers that would have pushed the price down. Buyer activity and stock levels, I think, moved at the same time. And now what we're seeing is an increase in buyer activity, and no doubt that will trigger into an increase in homes coming to market as home sellers see pricing increase.
Yeah.
But it's also, I don't know, we feel safe with real estate, if I can say that as well.
Yeah, I feel safe with you.
I know. We'll do that after the camera turns off. But
My cousin.
we'll sing songs. You know, Australians are confident in real estate. Bricks and mortars always perform well, and I think for people that panicked with the money markets earlier and with what COVID was saying, a lot of people turned to property to say, hey, this has been a factor that's always done well in Australia, and I think that's kept property prices, you know, pretty well.
I reckon you're spot on. I reckon you're spot on. Ladies and gentlemen, in uncertain times, people look for certainty.
And what's more certain than our property market compared to our, you know, stock markets, futures?
The roof over your head.
Yep.
Right?
It's always going to be
You want certainty? You turn to the ones you love. There's certainty there.
Yep.
You want certainty? You look at the roof over your head. There's certainty there. You look at what you got and you cherish it. And I think one property is food, property, clothing. I think basic 101. If you're wondering why property hasn't absolutely shit itself, is because it's very important to people.
Great question from Diane there.
Thanks, Diane. Anyone else?
Diane, sorry.
Okay, thanks for answering that. How do you think JobKeeper and JobKeeper finishing up soon will affect that? Shit, we missed that one. That's a good one.
Sorry, yeah, another good one.
Who said that?
That was Diane again.
She's on
You're
fire.
Mate,
These are great questions. Steve, JobKeeper,
job seeker. Look, it was supposed to come to an end now, and it's been extended.
Yep.
So it's been pushed out. Obviously, the government believes it's working for us, and purely it is. Looking at, property figures, it has. The government, again, going back to something we spoke about, they're smart at what they're doing. Let's be honest, and they know that it's worked to date. They know that by pushing it out to, I think, March next year, it's going to just keep us hopefully moving along. I think seeing it end up, I don't think they're going to end it at a point where it's going to be catastrophic to our economy.
I think you've got to be careful, guys and girls, about JobKeeper. I think it can hurt you as much as it can help you.
I think if you're waiting for that just to end to buy a property, it's not a good strategy.
I think it can hurt you as much as it can help you, and I really, really mean that. I think it was great, but I think it had a purpose, and I think if you keep that around for too long, that everyone who doesn't deserve it will stop getting it. So I think you want to make sure that it's very, very focused on going to the people that absolutely need it, because I know as an employer, and I know a lot of business people in our local area are finding it hard to find good people, and people will actually tell you that they're waiting until that's over, till they're to start work again, particularly in the hospitality business. So it's a double-edged sword. I'm not that scared that it will be taken away, as long as it happens nicely and slowly and gradually.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then the people that are out of work, find where the work is. That's what I'm talking about, that redistribution of wealth. Just find out where the energy's going. All right, and the government is doing whatever it takes. Yeah, isn't that true? They will. I've got to say, on a worldwide scale, I'm bloody proud to be Australian, because how we carry ourselves and how we have fared. We just came out of the bloody bushfires. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we've gone straight into this. We're a resilient mob. We're respected worldwide, not because we're just simply good people, but I think smart people as well. Aussies are cool.
Yeah. Good work, guys.
Anyway, see you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Mark, good to see you again.
Good to see you, man. Love you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.